I think about it all the time. What was success when I was 21 versus what is success at 51?
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it. You wanted the car with rims. You wanted the Vogues. You wanted the paint job. You wanted the boom. You wanted to be a vert. You want to be able to go to the park and pick up chicks.
Sidekick with some BBS rims. That's what success is.
Hey, welcome back to the ride. It's the Bald-Headed Barbershop. Like only we can do it. That guy, this guy, me.
Only we can do it.
Only we can do it.
The one and the only.
In all the world, there's only one.
Bald-Head Barbershop.
There's only one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So y'all already know Bald-Head Barbershop is, I cut hair, but matter of fact, Tori, I cut your hair years ago.
You did.
But then you went bald.
Yeah.
And Paul, I cut your hair too, and then you went bald.
Nah, I had two more fades in me.
You didn't.
You cut my,
You did
my
not.
fade
It was a
short.
it was a gradual
I had
ball.
two more fades
wasn't-
in me,
Paul.
bro.
It wasn't like it wasn't like you fell off the cliff. It was like a gradual.
I had
No.
two more fades. He cut my
I
career
should have cut
short.
your hair 2 times, but cut you bald 2 times before when I cut it bald.
What age did you go bald? How old were you?
I'm not bald now, brother. This is by choice. I can grow locks if I want to.
Okay.
They'll
Ever
be
heard of Bosley?
they'll be in
The
stereo, not
hairline,
surround sound.
hairline start way back.
Be saluting like
You
this.
see like that.
To our U.S. service personnel, on that note, thank you for your service.
Hey, you're very welcome. Happy
Veterans-
Veterans Day.
Veterans Day.
Veterans, happy Veterans Day, my brother.
Happy Veterans
Happy
Day, bro.
Veterans Day,
That's what's
brother.
up.
Yes, sir.
Then it's me, just the civilian guy. You know, man, how much can y'all attribute the military leading to your success in life?
Bro, to be honest with you, I love the topic. You're going to introduce the topic, but the reason I say that is because when I was in the military, of course, I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
And so my idea or what I thought my successful life was going to look like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, bro, I laugh at it now. You know, when I was in the Army, when I was getting out of the Army, I told my mom, I said, I'm coming home, I'm going to pharmacy school, and I'm moving to Atlanta.
Well, you know what? 3 out of 4 ain't bad, but
Bruh, if I could have pre-ordered my phone number, that's how sure I was.
Jesus Christ.
I was going to the ATL.
I
I
get
just
it.
loved the ATL. But you know what I loved about the ATL at 20-something was, of course, the nightlife and, you know, all of the stuff. And then by the time I finished, got out of school, was ready to kind of, you know, get my career started, bro, I didn't want all that. Not every weekend.
So I guess it's safe to say you had to redefine your success.
I had to redefine it for me.
Yeah.
And actually, I don't really call it redefining it. I say defining it, because for so long, I was letting other people define it.
So the initial is defining the success, but over time you learn to redefine.
I
success.
learned what success meant to me, man. So I'm really looking forward to diving into the conversation, because I think this is something that a lot of people struggle with, man. You know what I'm saying? Not struggle, but until you really kind of get an idea of, you know, all successful lives, I think, have a game plan.
So in case you missed the context clues, this episode we're talking about redefining success. Paul, I think you hit some valid points of, you know, what was the definition, but as time went on and you evolved, you had to define then redefine. Tori, again, thank you for your service. You
Very welcome, my brother. Very welcome.
But,
glad to serve.
The military, you went into the military later.
Yes,
And,
I was 28.
20. So you were like granddad.
I was. That's what they called me in boot camp.
Are you serious?
I was by far the oldest person in boot camp.
Really?
Yeah, it was 18, 19, 20-year-olds. I was 28.
In boot camp?
Yes.
Wow.
I joined very late. You know, it took me a while to try to figure out what I wanted to do when I grew up.
So you had already done the NFL and everything.
Went to college, went to play a little ball, and
Tori played for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
and then I had a cup of coffee with the Jazz. So, but yeah,
Very expensive coffee, might I add.
yeah, it's good coffee. Look up.
Columbia.
But hey, there you go. But I had done the whole thing. Went to college 4 years. You know, went and played ball. You know, after that I worked a little bit. I was still trying to play, and so in that. You know, after that, I had to redefine what I thought was success, because I thought that the NFL was going to be my, my success. But
Man.
that was short lived, so I had to redefine that.
So that redefinition, man, that's on a whole nother level.
Whole level.
You go from like the top 10% earners in the country. Now you just dare I say civilian.
Yeah.
So
I was
now it turns
actually a
into what's
substitute
next.
teaching. I worked for the church. I was a substitute teacher. So after that, I had to, kind of figure out life. Like I said, figure out what I'm going to do when I grow up.
Did you ever? Because I would imagine, like for me, for instance, in high school and shortly after, I had hoop dreams. I was a nasty hooper, just in case y'all want to check.
He was nasty because he didn't bathe, y'all.
But after I ain't never make it out of high school, I had to redefine that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I would imagine for you to take it to the highest level, you know what I'm saying, to have those dreams as a kid, and then to get there, and then not have it turn out the way you thought. I would imagine, was that like a...
It's very difficult, man. It was one of the most difficult things because, like you said, as I've always dreamed of playing football. Ever since I can remember, ever since I started playing football, that's all I wanted to ever do was make it to the NFL. Right. So once I had an opportunity to get there and having it being short-lived, having that taken away, getting cut, man, it was a shock. So it took me some time, to figure out what I wanted to do, and a couple of years after that, I decided to go into the military, join the Navy.
Wow, 20. When I was in basic, there was a dude, and I was 18, and the dude was 34.
Nah, that was crazy.
Matter of fact, he's not just 34. He was 34 and was a Vietnam vet. He got out, went civilian, had a government contract, lost his government contract, and decided to come back active duty, and they made him start all the way over again.
Wow.
So he went to basic training with us, 34 years old. He was crazy.
He's like, I couldn't imagine being it was hard for me at 28 to go back to the Navy and go through boot. Well, go to the Navy and go to boot camp.
At 18.
Because like I was like, come on, man. Like, so yeah, it was tough, but I got over it eventually.
Hey, one of the craziest things is that generational definition of success. Your mom, dad tell you got to go to college to be successful. You got to do X, Y, and Z to be successful. You got to go in the military to be successful. You look at these kids nowadays; they are totally defying what our parents would have thought would be the steps to success. This generation, our generation, they not like us on any level. They not like
these kids different.
But the thing is, all they know is what we taught them. And all we knew was what our parents taught us.
But wait, is some of what we didn't teach them, they just got it.
Yeah.
Man, these kids now, the entrepreneurial
the internet,
element,
the World Wide Web.
that element of being entrepreneurial, I don't want to work. Man, look at our production crew. These cats work for themselves.
Yeah. It's the same with my kids too. My two youngest children, they're entrepreneurs, you know what I'm saying? So, but I always say that, we talk about success. Success is relative, right?
I agree. Totally agree.
So what success means for me, it's not going to be the same for you. It's not going to be the same for you. Just like it's not going to be the same for, everybody out there. So you have to define what's successful to you. What's successful to some may be, a huge house, an expensive car, having that, Fortune 500 corporate job. But for others, success could be just getting through the day.
Man, just being able to sleep at night.
Just being able to have some peace, having freedom to, spend more time with your kids and not to be tied to a job.
Hey,
that's success.
Crazy. I think about it all the time. What was success when I was 21 versus what is success at 51?
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it. You wanted a car with rims. You wanted the Vogues. You wanted the paint job. You wanted the boom. You wanted to be a vert. You want to be able to go to the park and pick up chicks.
Sidekick with some BBS. That's what success is.
That was the whole picture of success. Tori, what was your picture of success?
I wanted the old school Brougham Cadillac, bro.
Man.
I wanted the old school Brougham Cadillac with some rims on it with the music in the back.
You know my Cadillac.
Hey, that's what that Cadillac, that Cadillac Brougham, baby. That's what I wanted.
Man,
that was for me, 15, 16, 17 growing up.
With some 12-inch subwoofers
with that thing beating in the back.
That thing beating.
Yeah.
It sounds like you got King Kong in the truck.
The funny thing is, though, everybody has a picture, and the first pictures we get is what our parents got, and they just want us to have what they didn't have.
Right.
And then when we coming up, we want our kids to have what we didn't have. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what, man? Social media and this internet is just it has created a true paradigm shift where it's like ours came as an evolution. You know, do better than I did, son.
Yeah.
I want you to have more than I did. But this internet has really put them in a position where it is, I need it now. I need more than one. Matter of fact, I need in excess of everything that I want.
Yeah, and a lot of times, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Go now. You know, a lot of times too, thinking about our parents. You know, they taught us, hey, you gotta go to college. You know, got to get a good education.
Right.
You know, that's the
generation.
path.
Because
That's what they.
expectation.
Yeah.
Those are the opportunities
That's
that
what-
they didn't have.
Absolutely.
And so now they wanted us to have it.
They wanted
Right.
us to have it, right? So
Right.
that was the path that they wanted to go on. You know,
So
that
now they want
so now
you
they
to-
want us to go on. You know, they wanted us to go on that same path. That was cool for us. Now, you know, in this day and age, it's not a necessity to go to college.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
You could find
Some of
success
you-
in so many other areas. You said, like you say, with the advent of the internet and social media, you know, there's so much you can do out there without going
Man,
to
a lot of
college.
these YouTubers are making major bread.
They are.
And you know
Yes,
what?
they Lord.
Speaking of YouTube, make sure to check out. Make sure to check out Bald Headed Barbershop
He go-
on YouTube.
You're a plug king. Now.
Hey,
he
brother,
gonna plug it. Now.
Bro,
Hey,
He gonna plug it.
he-
forget
plug it.
Bosch, forget AC Delco. This is the plug. Kid.
Yes, sir.
But
Plug it,
check
boy.
this out. In all seriousness, go to YouTube. You're probably watching on YouTube now, but if you're not, YouTube, Bald Headed Barbershop. Make sure to check out new episodes Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern. And action. What were you saying?
Yeah, man. I just think this, you know, with that, there's so many areas you can go into. You don't have to be tied down. If your college isn't your thing, you don't have to go that
But
direction.
see, that's the
You
thing.
know.
Most people early on don't know what success is to them yet. The same way our parents wanted us to have what we didn't have, right? They wanted us to go to college, get a good job because they felt like they got blocked from those kind of opportunities,
Right.
right? So then we go out, we struggle, we go to school, we get those good jobs, we got those salaries, and then when we get there, we realize that we still ain't happy.
We're not happy
Yeah,
because
yeah.
You
for
see what I'm
most of
saying?
us, too much is just never enough.
Yeah,
Right.
and I think success changes as you age. You know, as you get older, as you move into different you know, realms of your life, your goals change. You know, so what you wanted you know, 10 years ago is not the same thing you want now.
So you with your kids, what's different about the messages you give your kids about chasing their future and their dreams that differs from what your parents told you about chasing?
So my
yours?
parents told me to go to college. My mom, you know, hey, that's the way to success. You go to college, and I wanted to go to college because I wanted
Right.
to play ball. So I knew that was the path.
So
for me.
you're not telling your kids to go to college?
I'm not. I'm telling them that you don't have to go to college
Mm.
if that's not what that doesn't align with their goals.
Mm.
They're entrepreneurs now, so if they want to pursue their businesses, all I'm saying is have a plan. Let's talk
Now,
about it. Let's sit
my
down,
baby
have a
gotta
plan,
go to college.
and
Paige,
we
you
can,
gotta
we can
go-
figure that
you
out.
gotta go to college.
Yeah, you
My
say
baby
you got to
gotta
go to college. Yeah.
But I mean, for me, I think what changed is what you pursue. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, when I was coming up, my mom was in college. She was studying to be an industrial engineer. I didn't know. I couldn't even spell industrial engineer, much less have a good grasp on what it did.
Yeah, yeah.
But I knew that's what my mom was going to college for. So then they asked me, okay, well, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Industrial engineer.
Well, I said electrical engineer. Grant, I didn't know what electrical engineers did or nothing. I just know my mom was trying to be an engineer. You know, I'm gonna be an engineer. So when I go to the Army, I sign up to be an electrician because you know I'm figuring that's gonna give me some kind of background into what I'm gonna study when I get out. And I realized that I didn't have no interest in nothing electrical or
No
engineering
Yeah.
at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm just saying it because it sounded good. But then when I get out here and I try to apply what my mom did and what my mom wanted for me to my life, I realize that that's not really what's my calling. So when I tell my daughter, I do want you to go to school. I want you to pursue what your passions are. Because I want you to get out, not just have a job that makes good money. I want you to have a good job that you enjoy doing that makes good money.
You know what? You truly in my mind, because I think that this generation will maximize the opportunity to turn their expertise into entrepreneurship. It might not. It may be social media. It may be fashion design. It may be something. These kids got so many opportunities, and I sound like somebody daddy for real.
Yeah, you
Yes,
do.
These kids
Yeah, you
have opportunities we never could have dreamed of.
Yeah, I do. And it's true. Times are different, and like you said, with the the advent of the internet, social media, there's so many areas that these kids can go into that they can find careers and jobs in. College is great. I'm not going to discourage it, but it's not a necessity nowadays.
Right now, socially, I do think that socially, college, there are things that you learned in college that the world just can't teach you.
That's
And
true.
You can't learn it in a book, but
What about an HBCU versus
PWI.
funny you should say that.
from the highest
What school
of
is that?
Savon Hill?
I'm glad you asked.
What school is that?
Nestled upon the apex of 7 rolling hills in the capital city, Florida's University.
When the dark clouds roll.
It's when the dark clouds gather on the horizon and thunder and lightning pierce the sky. But
How did I know?
that's the
you
Rattler
knew that?
charge,
Yes,
man.
sir.
But often imitated, never duplicated. The true University of Florida, Florida Agricultural and Mechanical
Yeah.
University.
You didn't
I
study
was so
English.
excited.
He
to
was
get it
not
out.
an English major, people.
Close, real close. Broadcast journalism.
That's
Real
what's
close.
up.
I actually started in broadcast journalism too.
Really?
I did. I wanted
What
to.
made you get into stripping though, man?
Well, I had the body for it. I had to make some money in college. You know what I'm saying?
Do something
They had NIL back when I was
Do
getting
something strange for some change.
they had NIL.
Just
Now.
trying to get through. Well, got a scholarship fund. Like to hear about it, here you go.
Take it too far. I did not strip when I was in college. Okay, dance. I didn't do
It was
nothing.
after school. It was after college. It was a professional.
wasn't in class.
Not
while
in
you
the
was stripping.
not in the dorm room. It's a different story. What goes on in the dorm room
Stay
stays.
in the
Jeez,
dorm room. That's it.
Man, you just had your 30th team reunion, man.
I did, man. It was awesome. I went to PWI, UConn, Huskies. Let's go.
Go ahead.
My alma mater.
It's a phenomenal basketball program.
And football as well.
Yeah, I knew you were
We
gonna
are
say
current,
that.
yeah. We 7 wins right now. We just had a big win this weekend over Duke.
I got you. Hey,
I'm doing well.
Rattlers, we got our fingers crossed.
I got the classics coming up, right?
And look at me.
Put an S on it.
It's always the S.
Classic.
Classics.
Hold on, y'all. I need all Rattlers. Cross your fingers. Don't do no stare. Cross your fingers because we need to beat Bethune-Cookman this year. If never before, we got to beat Bethune-Cookman this year. It's not realistic, but
Why this year? We got to be him.
it's every year, but this year especially.
When's the last time y'all beat them?
Last year
Oh, y'all won last year?
and the year before
Okay. all right.
and the year before.
I mean, ain't nobody keeping score,
I mean-
but we winning.
I mean,
Okay.
why
We
keep
winning.
score? We just keep. All we do is
We
win.
winning.
Okay,
We
I
all
hear you.
winning.
All we do is win. But yeah, man. Success when I was in my 20s. I look back at it, man, and I really laugh because it was the Jordans, it was the outfit, it was the. I had a '73 Volkswagen Beetle, and I was so happy because I put the down payment on it. I made the payments on it. It was mine, and it was such a great element of success. But at 51, a Volkswagen Beetle is not much of an element of success. It's not a huge success.
Yeah, they don't make them no more.
Is there something that you would have gave up a left nut for when you was younger that you wouldn't? It's not as important now.
To sacrifice a whole testicle.
I mean, the whole
left
left,
one,
one. The left. Well, maybe the right one, depending on
like
if you left leaning or right leaning. You know. What I'm saying? But no, I mean something like for me. I'll give you an example. When I was younger,
A whole testicle, bro?
like when I was younger, I wanted, my dream success. I wanted of course, I wanted a big fat crib on the lake, or some body of water,
Beach.
some body
Gulf of
of
Mexico.
water, and that was, for me, that was it. Now, I don't want, like at 50 something, I don't want no big house like that. I'm about to be an empty nester. You know what I'm saying? So I be there by myself. So really, instead of like one big crib, I want a condo on Fort Lauderdale Beach.
Okay.
I want me a villa in Cabo, and then I'm gonna get me like a little duplex somewhere around Orlando.
And
Okay.
and if I'm not mistaken, it's not the stuff, it's the experiences where you can go to Cabo, where you can be in Fort Lauderdale or be right here at home in Orlando.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Because now, before, the priority was the
Was
things.
the stuff,
The
yeah.
stuff.
Because
stuff.
I
We're
was
chasing
defining my success by things,
you have.
what I could attain.
Right.
Now I'm defining my success by a lifestyle.
Yeah.
I want to be on that beach in Cabo.
Right.
I ain't in no rush to get back to the States. I might stay over here for 2 weeks. I might stay for a month. I'll figure out when I get
Are
there.
you
Just
going
keep
to have
the-
your personal chef make those sailfish tacos?
Yes. And the good and some good extra añejo tequila.
Man.
And that's
Yeah,
it, bro.
that's
But
good.
for me, that lifestyle is the priority versus before I would have gave up way more, and I did that. When I first graduated from pharmacy school, I spent way more money on things
Than experience.
that I thought was going to make me happy. And then when I got them, bro, I had it all. I had the jet skis, motorcycles, I had all of that. And still, it was like,
Yeah.
you know.
It's
So-
the experiences, man.
so
I'm
if-
the same way.
If it's the experience that you could have right now, like Paul gave his, what's your experience of success?
You know what? To be honest with you, I'm actually living it.
Man.
I'm living it. I have my family. They're healthy. They're happy. We're all together. You know, we can pay the bills. You know, we could take a trip. We're taking a trip in a couple of weeks out of the country. We're
going?
traveling. We're going on the cruise, man. We're going to
Go on ahead.
we're going to Mexico. We're going to Dominican. We're going to Turks and Caicos. So yeah, you know.
She got you brainwashed, dog.
Man, you know what? This is to me. This is success.
I feel
To me, having my family all together to where we're all good, we're all healthy, we're happy, we can travel, we can pay the bills, and we can enjoy each other's company. To me, that's success.
for me, I look at you almost with the eyes of envy because your kids, you got a legacy. Being on this side of it with no kids,
You want some?
I
I got 3.
to be determined.
I got 3. You know.
Nah, you can't
Yeah,
have mine.
you keep going.
My babies
I'm
is
good,
mine.
bro.
Okay.
Wait, you already blamed me for one of them. So.
Well, you know, that's a whole nother
yeah, that's a
discussion.
whole other show.
That's a whole
That's
nother show.
nother But no, sometimes, in transparency, sometimes I feel like my life isn't successful because I don't have kids. I don't have that legacy. So
It ain't too late.
the way my patience is set up, it's too late. It's too late. It's too late.
It ain't too
Yeah,
late,
yeah,
bro.
it
You know what they
ain't
say?
too
It's
late.
not too late.
It's
Yeah.
too late.
Yeah.
But for me, that experience of being able to move and maneuver, and it sounds real selfish, but to do the things that I want to do at this juncture in my life and not be held down, that PTO comes in handy, and those hours are not going to burn themselves up.
Gee, you might
So
as
I
well
got-
use them.
I got to get out and get something.
I feel you, bro. I feel
So,
you.
so answer me this.
Yeah.
In our new, mature picture of success, right?
Mhm.
What role does, like, overall mental, physical, and spiritual well-being play into that?
For me, it's
Because-
it's vital.
When I was younger, that wasn't even in the equation.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking about no spiritual well-being as part of success when I was in my 20s.
Yeah, for me, it's vital because when you're young, you ain't thinking about that. You think you're invincible. Think you're gonna live forever.
You gonna live
You don't
forever.
think about your mortality.
Right.
For me, it's top of mind, man, because being able to, I'm no longer religious. I'm spiritual. So having that peace, having that just the ability to be in a place of where I'm just at peace at life.
Right.
That right there is more important for me than anything.
For me, it shifted. Cause I did. Like I said, when I graduated pharmacy school, I was on a paper chase. I felt like I was pretty comfortable. I was making money, but it was a stretch. It was a stretch for about 2.5 years where my only day off was every other Sunday. I worked 13 out of 14 days
Wow.
in my own independent pharmacy.
But you got to grind to get it, though, man.
But I was burnt out.
Yeah.
And so now you grind, you get it.
But what
And
now?
Can't enjoy it.
And now is what you paid to have it worth
Worth
it?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the
So-
question I was in.
That's why I
because
learned not
I
to
had,
envy.
bruh, at my peak, I was comfortable financially. I was but I didn't have the time, I didn't have the peace, and I was not anywhere near close to being happy.
So, y'all, we have talked about the crescendo into what is our success. I'm thinking back to my dad, who served in Vietnam, who dealt with the societal norm of racism and even the tail end of Jim Crow, which was an improvement from what his dad was, a professional fruit harvester.
Wow.
Yeah.
He picked fruit for a living, y'all. So you look at the crescendo from a fruit harvester into a fire chief. My dad told me a story where his dad looked at one of his pay stubs and said, there's no one man worth this much money. Because in his mind, he couldn't fathom, you can't work this hard to earn this much money because I work this hard and I don't make near this much money.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a sad commentary, but, you know, you've told me stories about your grandfather and, you know,
Great
how he dealt
granddad.
with it.
Yeah, my great granddad was a sharecropper in right outside of Mobile, Alabama. And every year, me and my granddad, we go up to Mobile, up they call it up the country, and it's like 45 minutes north of Mobile. But to go out there and walk those fields that my great granddad used to sharecrop,
You feel that connection,
that
don't
my
you?
granddad used to help, you know, because when he said him and his brothers was kids, they had to go out and pick
They
cotton,
work in the field
and
too,
they
yeah.
had a weight quota they had to meet every day. You know what I'm saying? So for him, success was he left Mobile. Him and his brothers and sisters, they all moved to Sarasota, Florida. He became an electrician for the city of city of Sarasota, and for years that's what he did, and that was successful. He took care of his money. He made smart decisions. He worked hard. He provided for his family. He gave his kids opportunities that he didn't
That was
have,
all.
and for him that was success. You know.
So, Tori, you got a grandfather or predecessor story?
He ain't
No.
got no granddaddy.
I ain't got
I'm
no
just saying.
granddaddy. No, I'm just
right.
No.
Like, who ain't got a granddaddy? He got here some kind of way. See, what happened was his granddaddy got with his grandmama, and then his mama came out of that, and then you know.
No, I don't have no story like that, but you know, I can kind of, you know, relate to, you know, to what he was saying and just how, you know, how far we've come and how, you know, when you I go back to success is relative.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and it changes, it evolves as you know, as you grow older, as your priorities change, so do your idea of success. So for me, at this point in my life, as a 49-year-old, almost 50-year-old, like I said, success for me is having the freedom to spend time with my family, be healthy, be at peace, be able to travel and do things like that. For me, that's what success. That's how I define success.
So I tell you what, in closing, to every bridge builder, to every predecessor,
Not the bridge
sacrifices
builder.
that you made, an eternal debt of thank you is what I owe. For Paul Rivers, Tori Taylor, Sterling Stevenson,
Happy
y'all be
Veterans
blessed.
Day.
Y'all have a good
To
Happy
the
Veterans
vets.
Day. I salute you.
Thank you to our U.S. service
From my new
personnel,
hairline.
Yes.
domestic and international.
Yes.
Thank you for your continual sacrifice.
Absolutely.
And all that you do, because the truth is, freedom really ain't free.
It ain't free.
Y'all be easy.
Yes, sir. Peace.